Hello, my friend. It is all about the bees today. I'm going to be painting up some cute little whimsical bees as well as flipping some carrots into some bees that I'm going to be using for some embellishments. Hey guys, my name is Tracy. I love to share crafty ideas just like these projects. If you're not currently subscribed, I hope that you hit that subscribe button. All right, guys, let's get started. I had accumulated about 4 of these little wood bees that are from the spring section over at Hobby Lobby and decided to finally paint them up and make them really whimsy cute. So what I started with is one of those wooden bees from Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to be adhering some scrapbook paper for the stripes. But first I want to go ahead and paint the body and the head and all of that in black. The scrapbook paper is some that I had on hand, and I thought it was perfect for my little whimsical bees here. So just to form it around for the stripes, those stripes are raised on these little wood bees. So I just kind of burnished it with my finger and then took my scissors and just cut it out the best that I could, and then I'm going to adhere this with Mod Podge. And since these little pieces are so small, I didn't even worry about doing any kind of like heat transfer method or anything like that. I just put the Mod Podge on there and then adhered my scrapbook paper. Once my paper dried underneath, then I did go ahead and put a coat of the Mod Podge on top so that it was all nice and secure. Once my scrapbook paper was completely dry, I went ahead and took my little gator finger sander here and just sanded around the edges of the painted bee and the scrapbook paper, and that just kind of made it look really nice the way that I like it. Then for the bee's wings, I'm just giving a base coat of white paint. Then I'm going to take my glitter and just sprinkle on some glitter on that wet paint so that it gives my bees a little bit of sparkle on her wings. After I finished up all of the doodling with my black Sharpie marker, I added some vintage photo distress ink around her wings. I also added some doodling, some little squiggles just to add that bit of whimsy that I like. And to add a little bit more, I'm just taking some very thin black wire, and then I'm going to make her just kind of enhance her wings a bit more and doing 4 loops, and then I'm just gonna wrap that wire around, and then I'm going to glue that right underneath the wings, and I'm using Tight Bond as well as hot glue just to secure that. Then once that Tight Bond dries, then I go back and paint any of the glue that looks white or clear or anything like that. I just paint that up where it looks all nice and cohesive and that it's all nice and tight on there and will stay once I am going to be adding these to either, different signs that I do, wreath attachments, or just cute embellishments for my country crafts. One of my sweet friends over on Facebook shared how she created some cute little bees and also some butterflies from Dollar Tree carrots, guys. When I saw her post over on Facebook, I was like, oh my goodness, this is genius. So shout out to my friend Tracy with Made with Love Country Crafts by Tracy. Over on Facebook, you can see her video of how she did her bees, but in this video, I'm going to show you how I did mine using some leftover carrots from the Dollar Tree as well as a pack that I had from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to show how I painted them up and what I used for the little head and all of the details. All right, so what I'm starting with here is some 20mm wood balls that I got from a pack from Amazon. And so I just have a plastic cup here. I put some black paint in there, and then I just put my balls in there and just shook them around until they were fully coated. Now I'm just using some tweezers just to get them out, just sticking in that hole, and then that pulls them out. And then I just have this puppy pad that I just put them on the side to dry. I also did the same thing with those 4 larger beads. Now those wood beads are from Hobby Lobby, and you can get those anytime, like where they have their wooden beads and different decor that they have. All right, so then for the carrots from the Dollar Tree, what I'm doing is just cutting off the grass part of it. And so I just got best with this pack of carrots just by cutting it off. And then I'm going to stick in some wire because that is going to help me hold it while I paint. So what I'm doing is I have this thin wire that I have on hand. I used to could get this at Dollar Tree in the automotive section, but I haven't seen it in a little bit. But any thin wire would work, anything that works for you. So I'm using my paper piercer to help me get a hole in the carrot, and then I'm going to stick in that wire the best that I can. And so then, like I said, it's going to help me hold it while I paint it. So then what I was doing is just setting up my little space so that I can get to painting. So the color of chalk paint that I'm using is from my friend Nicole over at afraidnot.com. And the color I'm using for the yellow is Sunflower. And then I'm just using black for the black stripes. So for the Dollar Tree carrots, those were a little bit more difficult for me to paint just because I had to hold on to them, and their materials that they make their carrots with is like rope or like string. And when I was painting the Hobby Lobby carrots, those are made with burlap, and I could paint those a little bit easier, but it all works out in the end, just the way that I can get them painted. So I chose to paint my yellow first, and I'm just taking a brush and just making some stripes all the way around those. And then I'll go back and add the black paint. So for the Hobby Lobby carrots, now I got these when they were clearancing out theirs from the Easter spring season. And so I just twisted off the tops. Those twisted off very well. And then it left me with the hole so that I can put in my wire. Now this wire right here is a thicker wire that I got off of Amazon, and I will have it available if you would like to see which wire I am actually using. I am using the black black one, and I will have a link for that in the description box. And so then I just cut off the piece that I want, and if it's too long, I can go back and cut it off a little bit later once I make the antenna the way that I want when my bee is finished. So I'm just sticking the wire in the holes and giving it a dot of hot glue just to secure it in there. And then I'm going to start painting these. And like I said, I found that these little carrots with the burlap around them paint a lot easier than the ones from the Dollar Tree with the little, funky string. But beggars can't be choosy, and maybe you're like me and have some of those Dollar Tree carrots in your stash, and this is a great way to use them up for some summertime bees. Also, I have some styrofoam that I have on hand for my floral arrangements, and I just use that to stick in the wire while I'm painting another bee. I just find that that's helpful while they can completely dry all the way around, and it's just those little tips that help us be a little bit more creative. And for me, I actually used 3 coats of the yellow, the sunflower color on my bees, and then one coat usually worked pretty good for the black, but I did miss a few parts, so little spots. So I just went back and touched up as I needed to. Once I have them all painted, I just let them dry completely, and then I'm going to move on to making my wings. All right, so I pulled out some circles. These are tulle circles that I've had on hand in my stash, and so this is what I'm going to do for the wings for my bees. And so I just take one of those circles. I'm thinking I got these in the wedding section at Dollar Tree. I'm not quite sure. I didn't have the tag with it, but I'm thinking that's where I've seen them or where I've got them before. So that you can view it a little bit easier, I pulled out a black piece of cardstock just to give it a background so that you could kind of see what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do, I want this circle to be a little bit smaller, so I need to go ahead and cut that down. And what I'm showing you here, these are the options that I pulled out to make for wings, but I decided on the tulle. So anything that works for you or whatever, or whoever wants to do it for wings, but I'm just sharing what I did that works for me. Okay, so I folded it in half, and then I keep folding it again so that I can have just a smaller piece. Just take my scissors and just cut off about an inch of that because I want it to be a little bit smaller, and it is the perfect size of what I want for my bee. So I just gather it or scrunch it there in the middle, and then use a little clamp just to hold it together while I position my wire. So this thin wire, I just am going to make 4 loops, kind of like I do a bow. And so I cut it off a little bit, and then I twist it over on itself so that it stays intact. So I have 2 wires on both sides, like so. 4 of them for his little wings or her little wings. So I just take my tool, and then I just wrap my wire around, and then what I'm going to do is stick that into the back of the bee for his wings. But before I do that, I want to add a little bit of shimmer, and so I'm going to achieve that with my spray adhesive and my diamond glitter that I got over at Hobby Lobby, and I just spray it, and it has just a sweet little shimmer to his wings. For just an extra bit of a whimsy, I love whimsical touches to all of my country crafts, and so I just wrapped some of that thin wire around the body of my bees and just tucking it in using my paper piercer, my poking tool. These little carrots, these bees now are styrofoam, so they're very easy to just put little holes in there and just stick the wire in there. Okay, so then to attach the head of the bee, I'm just have uh, my wooden balls that are all now dry and everything like that. So I'm using some tight bond to glue on the head of my bee, and then I know that that tight bond is white, but there ain't no worry. I give it a little dot of hot glue as well, just to kind of keep it tacked right there. And then once that glue dries, then I'm just going to use black paint and just paint over it, and then it all looks nice and cohesive. And I'm not even going to see that, but my little bee head stays on there really nice. So to add the wings, I just poke a hole there at the top on the back of the bee, and then using that wire to my advantage, it keeps my wings together as well as gives me something so that I can glue and stick in there on the back, and so that he or she, this little bee, looks all nice and cute. So then I just take my needle nose pliers and just kind of curly cue the ends of each of those wires, just to kind of curly cue the antennas. I do that on the big ones as well as the small ones, and these turned out so cute. And again, a big shout out to my friend Tracy over on Facebook for the inspiration, because your idea was genius. Guys, thanks so much for watching. I will be doing some creations with these cute little whimsical bees very soon. All right, have a great day. God bless, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.